Hey, Brian,
Yes.
how come every time we do a laundry, we're missing only one sock?
How the hell do I know?
Life is full of questions,
Some smart,
some silly.
and some that absolutely should not have been asked out loud.
From science and pop culture to the mysteries of everyday life.
We chase curiosity wherever it leads. We do the research so you don't have to. I'm Brian.
I'm Jess.
Welcome to Life Science.
Hey, everyone, I'm Jess,
And I'm Brian.
and this is Life Science. We're glad you're here with us today. This is our first episode, and we wanted to introduce ourselves and tell you a little bit about what's coming up.
So, Jess and I met a couple years ago, and we've had some amazing questions and discussions, and answers along the way. And we wanted to, after many of discussion over things such as odd as why Cheerios are shaped the way they are, we decided that we wanted to start recording this and share our journey with other people who might have these similar questions.
Or not, but
Or not.
hopefully we're introducing some interesting thoughts into your mind. Brian is a science brain.
And Jess is more of this curious question asker.
So between the two of us, we comprise both the right brain and the left brain, and have some pretty interesting results.
And so we realized that everyday conversations turned into these sort of rabbit holes, and we hope you'll come along this journey with us. So, Jess, why don't you explain what is life science?
Well, life science isn't just about science in its traditional sense where it's just biology, chemistry, and those sort of traditional ideas. Life science is really about figuring out life. These big questions that might come through that keep us awake at night, or little ones like the Cheerios conversation that we had, and everything in between. It all helps us make sense of the world around us, and hopefully makes us better people as a result.
So the format will start every week with multiple questions. We're going to try and take them out of the headlines that we hear on a weekly basis to keep it as current as possible and to answer these science questions or give you a science perspective along the way. That being said, today's topic will hit right home, being that it's summer of 2026.
That's right. And summer of 2026 means there's only one creature who's been dominating the headlines.
And
And
that creature is Jimothy. He's a raccoon, and we'll go further into that in just a little bit. But before we dive deep into Jimothy, we want to give you a promise. All of our research that we do for you, do for ourselves to learn more along the way, is in the interests of learning for ourselves and hopefully sharing some of that learning with you. The research that we grab will come from peer-reviewed articles, published journals, and avenues of, I guess, education and information that is supported through science and through learning. If we speculate on something, we'll say we're speculating. Also, there's going to be people out here who know more than us on subjects.
We hope they will join the conversation.
Absolutely. We want to hear from as many people as we can on these topics because we're not saying we know everything. That's why we do what we do, so we can learn more. So a taste of what's to come. Let's start with our first subject matter today. Let's dive into the creature that is Jimothy. So last week, Jess came to me with this Jimothy character. I'd never heard of Jimothy. So tell our listeners how you discovered Jimothy, how Jimothy became a part of our lives for some reason.
Well, I learned about Jimothy the way most people learn about things these days, on social media. And I had seen a video of what looked like a raccoon with a very strange shaped body running around a neighborhood. And the more people began to learn about this creature on social media, he just blew up the internet. And so the folks who took the video of him that initially went viral named him Jimothy. And since then, Jimothy has been the star of memes and other people's artwork that has been posted online and now being sold in some cases for charity. And he's just everywhere now.
I saw the Seattle Mariners baseball team with Jimothy t-shirts in batting practice. That picture was making its circulations on.
They also had one night where there was, I guess, a message on the digital banner that they have in the stadium that also hailed Jimothy. So he has become not only a mascot in the Seattle area where he lives, but also across the country. I'm guessing some folks across the world also love Jimothy.
I mean, if they had a brain in their head, maybe they
just know.
Jimothy is a cute creature, and Jimothy suffers from what's called short spine syndrome, triple S. And according to veterinary neurologists Dyken Westworth and Beverly Sturgis, it's a congenital condition where the bones of the spine don't develop normally before birth. In some cases, individual vertebrae can be fused together or malformed, giving Jimothy and any animal that has this syndrome a much shorter and compressed body
it looks
than
almost
normal.
Like they don't have a neck.
Yeah, kind of. And some of the big questions will come with it is, does Jimothy, is he suffering? Does Jimothy have issues in other forms? Most of the research that we found is that Jimothy should have a normal life. His organs are not compacted or compressed in certain ways. There's still enough room for all of his organs. Legs are all still the same. Now, Jimothy actually hasn't been examined by a veterinarian, so nobody can say with absolute certainty that he has short spine syndrome. It does appear that way. But
one thing I can say, though, is online, a lot of other animals with short spine syndrome have made the rounds now too. So you'll notice a similar look amongst those animals who are all just darling, and I want to hug all of them.
Yeah, so some wildlife veterinarians have put forth these videos saying that, again, they have not examined him personally. It does appear that he does have his body is consistent with having that type of congenital vertebral malformation. What's also interesting is that this isn't a disease an animal catches later in life. It is something that they're born with during development. How much it affects them depends on which vertebrae are involved and whether the spinal cord or the other organs are also affected. And again, these things that we are learning through our research, we will be listing anything we either cite or reference, or even what we talk about. We will be posting publications for you to review in the notes. That way you can read all the things we've read. Mm-hmm. So I think you learn about the biology and the anatomical malformations of Jimothy. There's a social science component to this, and that's more of your realm, and why there has to be pros and cons in some people's eyes to Jimothy, like that you've seen.
Yeah, I think so. To my mind, there's two sides to this. The first side is that Jimothy has brought awareness of short spine syndrome to the world. I'm pretty sure that most of us hadn't even heard of it until our little raccoon friend made his appearance. So I think that is important when you see other animals, domestic animals, dogs, cats, that may have this short spine syndrome. They may have an opportunity at a really great life if the owners aren't scared off by that appearance.
Now, I will say one thing that we've learned is that short spine syndrome is mainly seen in wild animals, your raccoons, badgers, things like that. Animals that have been domesticated and bred over time, that gene is eventually bred out of them. So you don't see it as much in domestic cats or dogs. I'm not saying it won't appear or it cannot appear.
It definitely does. I've seen it on the internet.
It is just not as prevalent as you would see it in the actual wild. That being said, that, I agree with you that even short spine animals in the house need all the love that they can get.
Absolutely.
So. But there's some people that don't want, I think you had told me that they want people to love the handicapped or disabled humans as much as they love Jimothy. Like there's this saying, but I got to tell you, I like animals more than I like people, and I can't say that. I know I'm not the only person, but where do you stand on that one?
Well, I think that Jimothy has brought a conversation to the front that has been ongoing. And so I think it's been a great reminder for those of us who are typically abled to better understand that even if someone or something, Jimothy, has a difference, a disability that is visible or not, that understanding of those challenges that they may face or their needs that may be different from mine, for example, are just as important. And as much as you may like animals more than people, I am also a people lover in addition to an animal lover. And so I think that people with disabilities are often overlooked. And I think this is an opportunity to remind ourselves to not overlook.
I absolutely agree. And I like people. I think it's just when I'm, the people that don't use turn signals, I may lose them.
Yeah, that makes me nuts too, especially where we live.
So there is this thing. It's not that you truly dislike people, because I would not love what I do if I did not love the people on the planet as much as I actually do.
Right.
But it's the ones that cut you off in traffic or that
take your parking spot.
But that being said, I understand both sides of it. That brings me to a quick topic. We're still learning and sharing ourselves with our new friends that we meet on this podcast. I want to get my point across, and I don't think my words through all the time. My lovely partner here has eloquent words for days. I am not one of those. I don't think that way.
That's my marketing background.
Yeah, it's... if I ever say anything, or we ever say anything that maybe like the term handicapped or disabled, and sometimes terms will change over time with better understanding and more sympathy, and we're always trying to improve as people and humans ourselves. Feel free to reach out to us in the comments. You can't say handicapped anymore. You got to say this. If that's the case, and I'm not just talking about this podcast, but our future ones.
Absolutely. That really is our whole purpose for having this podcast, where we want to start conversations with you. We have Instagram and Facebook. We have an email address. All that information is in the notes. And we would love if you would reach out and talk about your feelings, thoughts, and if you have expertise in a particular area, share that as well. If you've written a paper, for example, on a certain topic that we've covered, send us your paper. We'd love to post that for you as well. So we're looking to create a community of learners, a community of people who are curious, and a community of people who are excited to have conversations.
I agree. So I'm gonna flip this Jimothy conversation a little bit. And this is a new one that you and I have not necessarily touched on. But my boss literally just sent us a message, or it's a picture, and someone has made a Jimothy raccoon piñata.
Wow.
And so there comes this thought, and you're like, oh, everyone's cashing in on the Jimothy craze. but now we're beating a raccoon with a stick.
Exactly.
And I understand it's a pinata.
I was just about to say that.
I get it.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of doing something like that. I don't actually like pinatas in general. I stink at it. But I think the idea of putting a beloved creature into the form of a pinata and encouraging people to smack him with a stick until you break him open, it seems like just
it seems
lacking in, I don't know, humanity.
I get the Jimothy craze, but there is something about smacking an animal with a stick. And you think pinatas will come in all forms. I've seen llama pinatas, and it's not real. It is a piece of paper with candy or whatever inside. I do get that, but there is this mental imagery or whatnot that comes
there's a
with
principle
it. Yeah.
involved.
So I will be replying to my boss and being like, "That's awesome, but I couldn't smack Jimothy with a stick.
No.
I would feel terrible." And if you happen to live in the Seattle area or decide to go visit, let Jimothy live his best life. He is living his best life. He looks very healthy and happy. Do not approach him. He's still a wild creature, even though he lives in Seattle. He's still
one of the loveliest cities.
Yeah, a very, very lovely city.
Yes.
Any wild creature, leave it be. Let them live their lives. Hopefully they will let you live yours and the best of it.
They will.
You never know.
So one of the things that I do want to touch on is when you brought up the pinata, that brought to my mind the idea of people wanting to monetize on the hot thing right now. And we talked a lot about how Jimothy has brought to the fore a whole bunch of ideas and awareness about a bunch of different things, whether it's his anatomical differences or the social component of things. I think he's done that. Jimothy, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately for him, will fade from the headlines, but those topics are always going to be there. And I am hoping that they will continue to be discussed to create understanding amongst more people, and Jimothy's legacy will continue.
Agreed. I can't imagine that Jimothy will be at the forefront of the popularity thing. Like most things we come through in social media, it will lose its hype. Jimothy will end up on some sort of Dancing with the Stars show in a couple of years.
Maybe.
Yeah.
He would look good with sequins.
He would.
Yeah.
Well, that seems to be the end of our show this week. We hope you'll join us for the next one. Anything you want to add before we call it a day?
Really excited to get started. This was just our first episode, so we're just testing the waters. If there's something you'd like to hear about or something that you would like us to change, please send us that feedback as well.
Agreed. Reach out. We want to hear more. We want to learn more. We hope you want to learn more. We guarantee there'll be more science with every episode.
And laughs.
I hope laughs.
There'll be laughs.
I mean, I'm laughing at us constantly. So
same. Yeah.
We hope you'll laugh at us as well. So, thanks for joining us.
Have a great one, everybody.
Well, that's another episode in the books. Thanks for joining us today on Life Science.
Follow us on your favorite podcast platform so you never miss an episode. And connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Have a question or a hypothesis, or maybe even just a rabbit hole you think we should explore? Send it to us at email.lifesciencepodcast@gmail.com. It might just inspire a future episode.
Until next time, stay curious.